It is Tuesday, October 14th, and today we are working on the backsplash for behind the stove and the kitchen countertop. And it's a good opportunity to talk about reduce, reuse, recycle. We don't do this just to be frugal. We do it because it inspires our creativity and it causes us to think outside the box. So we had these diamond plated panels. They're light, they're resilient, they're heat proof, but they are all shaped like this because they came off of some trunks that we got at Property Control. $5, we got a huge amount of hardware and panels off of these trunks that we bought at Disney's Property Control. So at first, Corey was going to cut these into flat pieces and just almost like tiles, and we would piece them together behind the areas that we wanted them. And I was looking at it and I was like, okay, so our whole theming is an adventure camper, and trunks are definitely something people think of when they think of the old explorers. So I thought about using the handles. Now, the first thing out of Corey's mouth is, well, how are you going to attach those? How's that going to work? And so, because they are to be inset into a trunk. So I said, instead of thinking about cutting a hole in the wall, instead let's build a frame for the handle. So the frame allows you to mount this to the wall flat. We're going to paint those silver to match the rest of it. And we will have 2 panels together with 3 handles. And another concern of Corey's, Corey is our pragmatist. He definitely thinks of everything that is a problem. So one of the other problems is the sharp edges, because it is metal. These, we held on to these. These were off of the awnings over the windows, the valance or whatever it was. They were on the edge of those holding in the material. Well, they are soft, no danger, and we can cover all of the edges of the trunk with those. So what reducing and reusing and recycling does is it makes us to think creatively of how we can use things in a way that they weren't meant to be used in the first place, that still ties in with how we want the trailer to look. I also told Corey these will be great because they're spring loaded. You can put spoons behind these and have them hold in place, or whatever it is that spices even could fit. A small bottle of spices could fit behind this. So, and they're magnetic, so you could put hooks or anything else that would hang on those as well. So in here on the bunk, we had this unfinished edge that just didn't look great. This is a track for a shower. Back when we were flipping houses, this came off one of the houses. And instead I have repurposed it for the edge of the bed. And what's great about it is I have these old safety cables that have hangers on them. So we're planning on attaching that, and we'll be able to use this to hang things here on the bunk if we need to temporarily or whatever. And again, Corey was nervous about the sharp edges. So we had some of these that are Nepal cats, and cutting channels into them. They're rubber. So cutting channels into them, they protect those edges. And again, we're reusing things. The support here was actually part of a shelf that we pulled off of curbside. And we are currently problem solving for the bottom of the bunks. I think that we need a sliding panel so that we can take the panel completely out of the way. And we have more shower door metal pieces that I think are going to work. We'll have to work through some of the problems, the sharp edges, figure out how to do the edges, figure out how to attach it all. But otherwise, I think being able to reuse this will be a great problem solving. As I said before, it's October 14th, and there's been a lot of things that we've been working on. Corey's been working on the door and the door frame. He's building the door outside. He has gotten the bathtub front panel put in and has started doing some of the plumbing, which is fantastic. We also, like I said, are working on the backsplashes for here behind the stove. And the cabinet is finished, but I couldn't resist, and I added some stuff on the inside. I didn't want this on the outside. Anything that isn't just kind of fades away will make the space look smaller. But inside the cabinets, I thought it would be fun to put some of our travel photos in here from all over the world. And that kind of brings in still that explorer vibe, but all of this is hidden most of the time behind the cabinets. And I did that with all of the cabinets. And it's a fun way for us to think about our travels. And I did that with all of them. So we've even got little pieces of ourselves in here. We may have to sign behind the walls here, so if we ever sell this thing, the next owner knows who was responsible for this monstrosity. I really am getting excited. We are starting to rebuild now, and we had a few couple of days that were really rough, but I think we're moving forward again. Corey's at Lowe's right now. He's got to pick up a part for something that broke on his compressor, but he has been working on the door for the bathroom, and we've discussed the possibility of, I'm not sure where he put them. Well, we were going to use, oh yeah, they're over here. We talked about putting these on the door, one for their aesthetic value, to make them look like, make the door look like it's part of a trunk. But the other piece would be, when they're there, you could actually unhook them and they could be hangers. You could hang bags, hang towels, and how cool would that be? I think that's a real neat idea. The other idea was possibly these, and again, they're all magnetic, and you could use magnets or whatever else so that they're utilitarian but provide another service. That's it for this Lake Calamita update. We're so glad you hung out with us. If you enjoy unique projects like this, you need to explore the rest of our channel. We're not just about flipping this RV. We're all about adventure, creativity, incredible food. We've got videos on our travels all over the world, our deep love for animal conservation and fun DIY projects that cover everything from house flipping to furniture flipping. We even have a bunch of videos showcasing our personal artwork. And for those who love a good theme, you'll find our passion for cooking, party planning, and theming in videos of themed dinners, cake decorating. I even cook with my dad once a month. If you've got a curious brain, our channel is definitely the place for you. Hit the subscribe button, check out the Lake Calamita playlist, and we'll catch you on our next adventure.